We are live. Welcome to episode 17, Muddin and BEAGS live. Except there ain't no Muddin because Muddin is in bed asleep. He's in there snoring. It's raining outside. He had to go out and patrol in the rain, and he came back in and went back to bed. So, I guess I'm riding solo tonight, and we'll see what we can get into. Hope everybody's doing fine tonight. We got had some rain today. I've been out painting all day, but I'm in the chair and I'm ready to go, ready to rock and roll, do a little mudding, see what we can get into. And I've been seeing Haha's been hanging around and Miss Hippie Shake's been hanging around. And we're going to get in here and we're going to do us a little bit of mudding and see what we can do. I hope everybody's doing well this evening. And hello, Masonic Q. And I'm getting my little doodad here ready. So I think we'll go ahead and just jump right on into it and get the pictures is going and see if we can get it to do like I want it to this time. I'm trying a new trick to see if it works. And hopefully it will. We will see. I don't know. Probably not. All right, hold on a second. Let me play this. Well. Oh, okay. I see what it's doing. All right, bear with me. This thing acts crazy as hell. All right, that should do it. I think we're ready to go. Okay. Welcome, 6R. How y'all doing? I don't know who was not at the Halloween show, but if you weren't there, then you might have been afraid of a little haunted mud flutter. That's okay. It's okay to be a chicken shit. That's okay. Everybody's allowed to be a chicken shit every now and then. I know some of you got the guts to come. Some of you don't have the guts to show up to the Halloween show, but that's okay. We had a good time with or without you. But it's still up there. I figure we'll leave it up there and y'all can go and take a look at it. Just get a good scare on whenever you feel like it. Anyways, we're going to go to Market Street from 11th in Philadelphia. And remember, these images are from between 1890 and 1910. And we've got Cobblestone Brick Road. And I watched I've watched half of it. Wonderful documentary on brick making today, which is interesting because I'm always looking for brick making documentaries, and I don't know why I have not seen this one yet. But I'm going to look into it. If it's possible, I'm going to show it to you guys. And we might do some talking about it. I found it very, very informative, and it had a lot of information that I think might be helpful. So anyways, I'm looking into that. Got Balsa Man right here. Got Ghosty People. Got some interesting little details right there. Can't really make out what they are, though. Little half tourist fields here. Got a Moorish looking building next door, it looks like. Architectural urn. Yeah, I had a good time on the Halloween show. That was a lot of fun, I thought. Thought it was real fun. Welcome, Kathy. How you doing? That's really cool right there. I like that stone ball finial at the top. Oh, wow, look at the detail on that one. Got the pine cone representing the pineal gland. Got a little fella sticking out here. Almost looks like a Frisian cap. Hard to tell, though. It's got a Moorish look to that building. Got a little Tartarian, looks like a Tartarian line there. Kind of hard to see, but it's there. I bet this was a sight to see right here. Just an absolute sight to see. And all you that showed up for the Halloween show, I sure appreciate it. We had a small crowd, but we had fun, I think. I hope. I had fun. I don't know if anybody else had fun, but I had fun, and that's where that's okay. As long as I have a good time, hopefully others will follow. Architectural urn. Got a finial right here. Got a porthole for the wind catcher. Got a cartouche right there. Venetian shells. Big ether antenna right there. Some neat finials there. Got a circlepunk there, which is a dot within a circle. That's the original symbol for the creator. Well before any of the religions. That is the original symbol for the creator and the universe right there. It's all in one. All in one. And that symbol is everywhere. It's very hard to find information on it. They hit it really well, but that's what it is. That is what it is. Got a big clock. Clocks are expensive. Hey, got some eagles representing the phoenix there. Finials. Interesting. Might be lights. Might be arc lights right there. I don't know. There's your William Penn statue. That thing, I believe, is about 35 feet tall. So, how in the world did they get that up there? I beg the question. There's no one of those ether antennas right there, and there's another one back here. There's another one right there. Stone ball finials. Oh, them some good looking awnings right there. That's quality awning work right there. That's much better than anything else I've seen so far tonight. That's good looking awning. Clocks are expensive. Wonder if this is one of those compressed air clocks like they have over in was it France? There's Fred and his girlfriend. Fred's a horse to build America. And he got his little mistress back here. Fred gets around, That's just amazing. That structure. I mean, it's still there, but that is phenomenal. That quality in that time, incredible. Just so hard to understand. Look at that old fire hydrant. Look at that work right there. Details, arc lights, little lion, Tartarian lion. There's that weird shield symbol. Look at the detail in that building. Jeez. What the hell? Look at this horse shit that they put right here. Covering up that detail right there. I mean, come on. Why? That is such just ridiculousness. Diamond symbology. Torus field. Looks like circle punks right here. Maybe. Maybe not. No, it's a sun symbol, maybe? I don't know, like a circle punk from when it's blurred. Maybe it's a sun symbol. There's that weird shield symbol that it's very strange, that shield. And there's an open portal, so that's part of the wind catcher system. Just amazing detail. There's that weird symbol. Now that this shield is this shape, it's very odd, and I've often questioned what is the meaning of this shape shield, and I have yet to find any answer. I have looked and looked and looked and looked and asked and asked and asked and asked. And nobody knows. Nobody has anything. I've had a lot of people come back with. It's funny, they scratched out the mercury ball right there. But a lot of people come back with official narrative that would explain shields, but I'm not looking for the official narrative of shields. I'm looking for the official narrative of that shield, that shape, because I see that shape shield all over the place. It's very specific. It means something. It's a symbol. It's not just a shield shape. See, there's another one right there. There's the other antenna. Torus field. So much going on here. Gosh. It's like a wrinkled up awning there. Got a ladder lane for Douglas. Shout out UAP. We can go window shopping here. Arc light, and you see how they have this mechanism that lowers it down, because these arc lights would not last very long, about a day. They get like maybe a night out of it, and then they'd have to replace it. So it was they had to be able to get to it. Lion brand. Wow. Just a lot going on there. One picture. It's amazing. That's something to think about right there. Just look at that picture, okay? This picture, when it was presented to the public, okay, they would take this picture, they would sell it maybe as a postcard, and that you would see it maybe in a magazine or something, but you would see it in a lower resolution than this, number one, okay, because it'd be a print of an image, and then it would, that's what you would see right there. So what I'm saying is, look how much detail we just saw because we looked at the original negative, as opposed to the print. It's phenomenal. It's like, how did people not know about this? They couldn't see it. How are you supposed to know about something you can't even see? You can't see that from the distance. It's impossible. People couldn't see it. They somebody looking in a magazine or a newspaper at a picture of this, in 1900, and they see this image in the paper, it didn't look like this. It didn't even look anything like this. And so, it's like, Well, how could they hide it? Well, hell, they put it in plain sight. It just wasn't possible to see it. And then why would you question it? I wish I could blur that out. I can't. There's a blur feature on here, but it don't blur, which is weird. I don't know what the blur feature on here. It's like goes so blurry you can't see anything immediately, and then it goes from like blur so blurry you can't see anything to really really blurry. I don't know if that makes any sense. Anyways, we've got Mary Hitchcock Memorial Hospital and Dartmouth College. I think we'll go there next. Got beautifully immaculate lawn. Got some Christmas trees growing in the front lawn. In case you need those. Got some Mudflood windows. In case you need them. Look at the brickwork right there. That's quality. See the design that they made there? That's wild. I mean, somebody dropped some good stuff there and took them a little ride. Made them a brick wall. No doubt. The design work on that chimney, it's subtle, but it's there. I mean, that's just really quite nice. There's Fred right there hiding out. He thought we couldn't see him, but we saw him. All right, I'm gonna put all you on donkey watch, looking for this donkey. I keep hearing about this donkey. We're gonna find this donkey. We're gonna get to the bottom of this issue. We're investigating where this donkey is that we've been hearing so much about. It's like a whole corporation from right here, but we're gonna find them. We're gonna find this corporation of donkeys. We're gonna find them. They might be connected to Fred. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Fred being the horse to build America. I mean, you would assume that the original, OG would be Fred, but we'll see. You never know. We got Torsfield, Mudflood Winders, in case you need them. Got the Mudflood Winder there, another one there, another one there, and there 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 and there. A whole bunch. In case you need Mudflood Winders. I like that brickwork. That is really quite nice. It's subtle, but the different colors in there, it at first glance, it looks random. That ain't random, y'all. I've watched masons do this. It ain't random. There ain't nothing random about what you're looking at there. That is very specific, and it stands out right here on that coin. This would be the coin down the corner, coin with a Q. And then, but the way that they place, the dark, they've got it looks like three different style bricks, a dark, a light, and a medium. And they're putting them in a pattern. So you can see this straight line going up here. That's not by chance. That's purposeful. That's a wind catcher. Whoever did this, they very specifically laid those bricks to show a pattern, to show a detail that they were showing off. No doubt. I mean, I'm sure they were told to do this, but you don't just. This wasn't random. It looks random from a distance, but that is anything but random. I 100% assure you that is not random. That takes a careful mason, somebody that really knows their trade. That's not Joe Blow bricklayer. Not putting Joe Blow bricklayer down, but that, it takes a special mind to be able to put that together. Oh, this is where is this? I know somebody knows. I don't know. Officers Road, Fort Wayne, Detroit, Michigan. So it's Officers Road. Got a random block sticking out here in the middle of everything. Got another one out here. I wonder what that's about. And then they make a sidewalk off that. Well, that's just random. Got little Mudflood winners down there in case you need them. Diamond symbology. It's an interesting little feature there. Strange. The way they've done that. That's interesting. Little antenna there. Little other antenna there, and there's another one there. There's a porthole. Portholes didn't have to be round. They could be any shape, really. It's just it's a window that opens. Would be how I would define porthole. And these things all have, it's like tech on the top. Or it could be like lightning rods. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. Let me turn my little fan off here. I'm getting a little chilly. Okay. All righty. Got a hitching post right here. Nice little window right there. That's nice. You know, it's funny. These are reminiscent of today's row homes, in America. But these are like just so much better quality. So much, like that detail right there. You would never get that today. You'd pay $500,000 and not get that. They don't do stuff like that anymore. They don't go above and beyond. They're just selling crap to people. Got Mathewson Hotel, New Mathewson, Narragansett Pier. Okay. So it's that place. If I pronounced it right, I don't know. I'm not claiming to do. Hello, sir. Nice to meet you. We're here to check out Boss Man right here. Postal Telegraph. These weird windows down at the ground. Got a little fella running their bicycle. Got some Mudflood winners down there. Weather antenna right there. Got some pretty awnings. Some good looking awnings there. Diamond symbology. Those are pretty. Oh, I love the wind catcher. It is really what it is. These are part of the wind catcher, but we would have used them as chimneys. Some ether antennas on there. That would be the wind catcher right there. Got a little architectural urns there. This is an afterthought. That was not original, I don't think. And this is just my opinion. Everybody's got an opinion. I mean, some people think that Old World and Tartary is bullshit. I do not. I do believe that there is a civilization that was called Tartaria. It was a very large civilization. I believe that they probably had a presence worldwide, just like America has a presence worldwide. America has their finger in everybody's pie all around the world. I feel it's the same thing with Tartaria. I believe they were had their finger in all the pies around the world. I think they were worldwide, not as in it was Tartaria worldwide, but that they were mobile. They were moving their ass around the world, and they were doing all kinds of things. And I think they were just one part of this old world civilization. And for some reason, they were taken out. The Ninny Squad does not like that. They do not. If it's not in the official history books, the Ninny Squad wants to throw a hissy fit and say, no, 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 there's nothing there to see. Don't look there. We don't want to question that. We know what the books say. We know what the history says. Well, no, we don't, because, the history books are written by the victors. And we got porthole here, here, and here. Which is, there's porthole there and there and there and there. See porthole? That's porthole. But, our history is, just absolutely screwed. Welcome, Frankie. Welcome, Harmon Walker. I believe there's a lot of evidence, yes, pointing to there was an old world, that there is a cover-up of a whole worldwide civilization. I'm not saying it was one civilization, but they were connected, y'all. I mean, there was a connectivity between the civilizations around the world. The Mayans were connected to the Egyptians. The Egyptians were connected to the Chinese. It was all connected. There was worldwide communications. There was world travel. There was we knew, back then, everybody. It was world trade. It was all connected, and then it was all scattered to the wind for some reason. And this is a McDonald Engineering Building, McGill University, Montreal. So this will be up in there in Frankie's territory there. Let's see. I'm going to read your comment here. Tartary was taken out so they could charge us money for electricity, water, and oil. We're the only species they have to pay to live on this realm. I don't know if that's why they took Tartaria off the map. It's a result. I mean, they definitely have done that since. I mean, yes, they have absolutely done these things since. That is a consequence of losing those civilizations. But is it possible that they took out their civilizations so they could do that? Yes, it is. I guess I just don't know. I don't have any any evidence that says, yes, this is why they took out these civilizations. I don't really know. I don't. If I had the evidence to say one way or another, it was this or it was that, I would love to say that. I would love to say, I think this is why they did it, but I don't. And I don't want to do that, because that's not right. It's not accurate. I want to look at what I know I can show that, look, something here is not correct. Tartarian lions. Mudflood winters all across the bottom there. And then it goes even deeper down here. That's real interesting. So it goes down. There's a stair going down, you can see. And I have since learned recently that these windows right here, these where you have the large arch and the two little arches and the circle, that circle is a porthole. And you could open those up. So you had the windows that opened up here, okay? But then you also had the porthole window. And I've learned that you could open those too. So that's something I learned recently. I was watching an old movie called If with Malcolm McDowell, and there was a scene where they were in an old building that had those kind of windows, and clear as a bell, That's exactly what was going on behind that window, and it showed it clear as a bell. Check out this chimney right here. You know, they had this. They were porthole windows, and they had a mechanism for opening them. And I was just like, wow, you know, that is a trip, because it looks like a circle punk, but it's hard to make out. But it just, you know, it's just amazing how many times I've seen that and not known that. And I'm always learning new stuff. Always learning new stuff about this. I've learned a lot this week in some of the things I've been doing. So I'm always trying to update my knowledge. There's so much I don't know. This is a medical building, U of M, University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, Michigan. It's a big one. Look at those doors. Good 12-foot door. Mudflood Wanders, ladies in uniform. More Mudflood Wanders. This looks like it's been, I wonder if this has been facaded with this stone here. Looks awful plain to me. Ordinary. That big dome back there. At their antenna right there. Something big going on back there. Very nice. This is Merchants Dispatch Transportation Company. In case you needed that. Got some old plumbing here. That's paint right there. Looks like. I wonder why that's there. Don't know why that's paint. Wonder why they would paint that. Almost like they want it to stand out for some reason. I don't know. That's weird. They do some weird stuff with these images. Got ivy growing all over it. Hard to tell if there's windows down there. Arched window there. Arc light back there. Oh, look at that. They've painted out this cable right here. And then over here, it's painted out. Right there. And then you can see the cable right across there. When you back up, you can't even see it. And you got to understand, this would have been, they would have used this in a magazine, and the resolution, once you printed this picture, you would never see any of these cables back here. They would just, it wouldn't pick up. In printing it you know, of that quality, like if you try to print that, that just wouldn't show up. I took a printing class in high school, and it's just too small. That line wouldn't. It'd be easy to get rid of that line, is what I'm saying. But that line is so thick, you wouldn't be able to get rid of that line, and it would make the picture not look as good. Is that why they took it out? I'm assuming. Excuse me. A long day. Went to the grocery store after I got done. I was hoping some EBT fucker would fuck with me so I could take my shopping cart and throw it over their head, but they didn't, so I don't know. Can't have no fun these days. But let's see. Welcome, GT. What's going on? 50 years worth of ivy, huh? This is Mess Hall, Michigan Military Academy, Orchard Lake, Michigan. Like that brickwork there. Look at that arch. It goes up under there too. That's nice. Very nice. Big, thick arches. That's a mess hall. More like a castle. That's called dog toothing right there. It's stained glass. You got your official narrative right there. I saw something funny today. Go look up I think it's called the sign language sign for Earth. I think it was. I ain't gonna do this right. This. I think that. I think that's what I saw. I'm not saying that's right, but that's what I saw, and I was like, "Is that right? If that is, that's funny." Because that's clearly showing a flat Earth with a dome. And the caption said they're deaf, they're not blind. Crack me up. Oh. We got Metropolitan Life Insurance Building, New York. We'll sell us some. Looks like maybe potatoes. Meeting of the minds here. Clocks are expensive. Arc light. Ladies in uniform. Cobblestone brick road that's not melted, unfortunately. I mean, one of these days I'm gonna find me a melted brick road. I'm looking. Jen Truth Seeker 69 swears up and down them are melted brick roads. Them is melted brick roads. The heat came up from the bottom and burned them up. Crispy credit them. Anyways, there's Fred. Fred's the horse that built America. Still looking for that donkey. I will find me a donkey. Guarantee you. If there's a donkey to be found, I will find it. Oh, go back in. Okay. Got ether antennas all over. Headquarters, Republican National Convention. William McKinley and Theodore Roosevelt. Oh boy, I can't wait. Oak Island starts this week. Yeehaw! I can't wait. So it comes on Tuesday nights and streams on Wednesday. So on Wednesday night, you can all kiss my ass. I'm watching my Oak Island. Can't wait. Love me some Oak Island. That's my crack. Got to open basement door here. There's another one right there. Ladies in uniform. Pooper Scooper Man. Got a little trolley going here. Another Pooper Scooper Man. Looks like maybe. Well, no, maybe that might be just a cart. That's definitely Pooper Scooper Man. I bet there's some pavement light. Yep, there's some right there. And that's a trap door with pavement light in it. You can see the glass right there. Little square prisms of glass. There's Fred. Look at the blockwork there. That is nice. New York Post Office. New York City. Got an outcrop door, which is kind of an innie as opposed to an outie. That's got an arc light. Oh my goodness. Look at the quality. Good gracious. Tartarian lines. Oh my goodness. seashells, Phoenician seashells. That's pretty. There's a little circle point. Seashell representing Phoenicians. That's just amazing to me. I'm in awe of their quality and their craftsmanship. Tartarian line. There's an outcrop door. They did these because the doors were too big. Because the giants, yep, we had giants running around, all different sizes. I don't think the big ones were in the city. I think they were, more out in the nether regions. But I think we definitely had some tall son bitches running around. I don't think it was uncommon to see a 12-footer. I think maybe the 15-footers would have been a little less common, but I'm pretty sure we saw good tall people. They were running around. Yep, I do believe the wind catcher, that block work, that is quality. Look at that. That's just whew. That's top tier. Look at that. That ain't Christian symbology. Little Tartarian lines all across the top here. Got an ether antenna going up with a flag on it, in case you need a flag. Little scrubbed cartouches. Little seashells, Phoenician seashells. I wonder if that's a dragon. Hard to tell. I'm not sure. Maybe. Phoenician seashells. Ooh, there's a lot to look at here. Scrub cartouche. Laurel leaf for control. Oh, look at him awnings. Oh, man. That is good looking right there. Now, that building would look like absolute crap if it didn't have them awnings on it. No doubt. They really set the tone for the quality of the building. That's just, I'm in all of that. $18.90, $18.68. I mean, where to look? So much going on in that thing. Phoenician wave. It's weird. It's got a little, every so often it's got another little symbol in there, a little flower or something. It's kind of odd. A lot going on there. It's like little portholes there. Wow. No dogs allowed at large. Well, fuck you. Mills on the River, Oswego, New York. We'll just leave. You don't want us around. Shit. Time for you anyways. We got to go look at this other picture here. Wah, 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 wah. I feel like we built these buildings, this style building here. I just feel like we built those. There's something about them. There's something about them. They just don't have. They're too simple. That's an opinion. I don't know. Arches up there. That's an odd little marks on that. I don't know. Not sure. I see quite a few of that. That could be just something got on the glass plate and messed it up or something. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Big chimneys right there. Look at those arches right there coming out at their antennas popping up there. Now here's a question. Why do we not put flagpoles on buildings now? We did back then. We put them all over the buildings. We sometimes put a flag on them. But why do we not do it today? What's out of style, Beags? Is that the reason? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Or is it there was no purpose? Flags are expensive, and anybody's ever had a flag knows that if you leave it up, it'll tear up real quick. That's why you're supposed to take the American flag down every day. When you raise it up in the morning and take it down at night because they tear up. If you just leave them up, they tear up. Sure, there's other reasons, but that's one of the reasons. This is Mine Brook Road, Far Hills, New Jersey. I just thought it was a nice picture. Got mama and daughter out for a stroll. She's just, pimped out. I mean, look at that outfit. I mean, it's just perfect. Look at that post right there. Huh. A bit overkill, I think. We got Minneapolis view from across the river. Well, this rock has lines in it, so it must be a melted building. Oh, yeah, we found evidence here. All right, let's get on our Meltology caps, y'all. Okay, we're going Meltology hunting. Oh, no, the building's falling apart. Oh, look, an aperture. We got an aperture. Oh, boy. Oh, look, another aperture. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And this must be an ancient door. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, me. And we got foundational crack. This building's falling apart. And this must be, an ancient coin. Yeah, that's an ancient coin right there. And look, the building's falling apart and falling in the water. You can see the brick lines. All right, take them fucking hats off. We got a bridge. We got some nudie boys down here, looks like. I don't know what that's about. I guess they're taking a dip. And we got Big old stone bridge here. Very nice. Or as the Meltologists would say, that's a melted red brick bridge that's balloon rocked. And it's leveled and true. It makes me laugh every time I think of that. Like, it's like, my God, what are you people smoking? Puff, puff, pass. Puff, puff, pass. That's the rotation, but they go puff, 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 puff. Then they smoke the opposite end, the hot end. Puff, puff, puff. Oh, puff, puff. Oh. Pass. That's how they do it. Wow. You literally got shake stupid out of your head. Pillsbury. God. Oh, poor holes. Ether antenna. God. Phoenix Mill. Boy, they love that Phoenix, don't they? My Phoenix. Oh. Arches everywhere. Look at that monstrosity. Good grief. Got their antennas all over it. Big, big arches. The symmetry. That's just old. I mean, why? Look at that ether antenna right there. Why would you need something like this in 1890? This picture is labeled between 1880 and 1889 or 1899. Okay, this is pre-1900, this image. And this is all just here. Like, it's, it's there. Like, seriously? Why do you need that back then? I mean, what in the hell would make y'all build like this in this time? It's just, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. These buildings right here. Okay, you needed these buildings. I can see you building these. I see there. You they have a utility to them. They have a purpose. I can get that. I get it. I understand it. Why do you need to build these humongous structures in that time? Why do you need that? What in the hell is that? What is that? That's the fucking Taj Mahal in freaking Minneapolis. What is that doing in Minneapolis in 1880 to 1899? Morningside Park, New York. I just don't know. Look at all that built up right there. Just this right here. Like, why? This just, come on. This right here, this I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Did they find this like this? Possibly. Is this photo, edited? Is it edited into the shot? Possibly. Hell, I could do that. With 1 year of darkroom experience in graphic arts that I've had in high school, I could edit this picture. I could edit this job site into this picture. No problem. Easy. I could do that. And I'm not a professional. I was just a kid in 11th grade. And they taught me how to do that. If you've done any work in a dark room, you realize, well, not just a dark room. Dark room is half the battle. Graphic arts, but I don't know what's going on there. I don't know. I don't know enough about the structure to know. This would be a fun one to look deeper into to find out, more about it. Maybe that I don't know. Is that there? I don't know. In this time, it I don't know. Is this picture older than it's supposed to be? I don't know. Maybe we built that. There's no statue in the niche there. Look at that. Portholes at their antenna. Portholes all the way across the top here. More portholes there and there and portholes all across here. Big dome. Look at that thing. Portholes all the way across the top of this one. You see some of them are open. They're for the wind catcher. Look at this wall right here. How high is that wall right there? That's a stone wall. What's going on there? You got the Eiffel Tower over here. I don't know what that is. I got a couple shots of this to show you. Starfort stone wall, you think? Maybe. Maybe. No, you ain't got no power tools. Nope. This is Morris and Essex Canal at Waterloo, New Jersey, the plain. I've got several pictures of this that will show you what's going on. That Fred coming across here. Looks like they're flying down the hill on this barge. Same thing. It's a different place on there. There's the barge. I believe canals are old world. Like the Atlantic Intercoastal Waterway, I believe that was already there. I don't believe we dug that. That's odd right there. That don't look right. It I don't look right. I don't know. That's strange. Morris and Essex Canal near Hackmantown. Got some stonage there. That's a cool bridge. That's pretty cool. These look like an afterthought. Seems like the person that constructed this would have made this better. That they would have made it to be more like the bridge itself. But I don't know. It looks like an afterthought to me. But I could be wrong. Morrison, Essex Canal near Hoppatocog, New Jersey. What the? Who's naming these places? You try to pronounce that. Like what is that? Who's naming these places? Seriously, come on. Nobody can pronounce that shit. Probably just offended the hell out of somebody. That's okay. If I'm not offending somebody, I'm not doing my job. I pretty much come to the conclusion that there's no way I can't offend everybody in some way, shape, or form. At some point, I'll probably piss every one of you off. That's okay. Mudflooders are like shark teeth. Y'all just keep popping up. No, I mean, you can easily just, easily piss people off like out of nowhere. Like, and there's nothing you can do. I can't hold everybody's hand. That's one thing about the Ninny Squad that drives me nuts. It's like that Ninny static in the attic. Basically, I got nothing up in the head is what his channel's called. He does a little Mudflooder hit piece this week, and he throws no like actual like research down that people have done that are serious about it. He always just goes after the cheap shot. Well, they say Tartaria is worldwide civilization. Well, no, that's not actually what's being said. And it's like he'll just say all this random shit that has no like. It's like you'll have like a guy like the Bully Slayer say something, and then he'll group the Bully Slayer in with actual good researchers and lump us all together as one, like we all believe the same thing, like we're all saying the same thing, trying to make us look stupid. And in reality, he's making himself look stupid because he's not doing any kind of research. I mean, if you're going to come at somebody or a group of people, get specific. Look at the research they're doing and try to debunk that research, not nitty them to death about bullshit. I mean, actually come with something. That's why, I popped off that Star Theater boo-boo on his ass. If you hadn't seen that, I highly suggest you go watch it, because you got a person like Static in an Attic who's so hard up to make Tartarian old world researchers look bad that he's willing to falsify his information in order to bury us. And so he did the Star Theater Boo Boo, and that's on my BitChute channel. Just look up Static in the Attic Star Theater Boo Boo, and you'll see what he did there. This is Morrison, Essex Canal, New Jersey, Erie Lift near Mountain View. And you'll see what he did there. And I didn't do anything other than present what he presented and everything he did. And it's in his own words, it's his own shit, and it shows it basically lets him expose himself. So go watch Star Theater Boo Boo if you want to. And that's how you show that somebody's full of shit. You don't just say, "Oh, they're full of shit." You show how they're full of shit. You show it on paper. You get out the details. But see, I did it on BitChute out of respect, because I could have buried him with that video. but I didn't do that because I'm kinder than that. Now, meltologists, they will just bury them. They need to be buried anyways. Just throw them out with the trash. Morrison, Essex Canal, New Jersey, near Mountain View. That's a pretty cool looking boat. Little barge there. I guess that's called a barge. That's pretty cool. They look tough. Might be Fred up there frolicking with his girlfriend. I don't know. It might be not rated for YouTube. I'm not sure. Look at him with that weeping willows trees. I think so. Is that a donkey? That could be a donkey, y'all. I think we done found Donkeys Incorporated here. That could be a donkey. I think that is a donkey. How be damned, I found a donkey. Holy majoli. Hey, go. I think that is a donkey. That looks like one. Looks like two donkeys. We found Donkeys Incorporated here. How about that? I knew we'd get to the bottom of it. Lord. Got Morris and Essex Canal, Waterloo, New Jersey. Yeah, there used to be a good little list of the Ninny Squad. They've farted off at this point, most of them. And that's what happens. The cream always rises, and the shit always falls to the bottom. That might be another donkey. I don't know that could be a donkey. Might be two donkeys. How about that? I knew we'd find them. I don't even know what the hell this contraption is. It's some kind of gate lock thing, like canal drop. Pretty cool. No, the ninnies, they were getting really nasty, y'all. Y'all don't even know. y'all don't even know like how nasty they actually got. But let's just put it this way: not everything happens on YouTube. But sometimes you got to walk away because it's getting too personal, and that's when people getting hot water. And there was some people about to drown around here. So, before it got too nasty, which it was getting a little too nasty around here, put a stop to it. Mount Holyoke, what the fuck? College, Holyoke. I went to Mount Holyoke College when I was little. I would never tell anybody that. South Hadley, Massachusetts. Holyoke. Who's naming this shit? Where's the name of this thing? Is it on the thing? Please tell me it's on here. No, it ain't. Good grief. Anyways, who's naming this stuff? Gaslight, Mudflood Wanderers. That's a wild looking window right there. Etherfinial. In case you need one of them. Wind catcher. Mudflood Wanderers. No, I think we were getting a little too close to the truth, and I think that dark forces were using low energy people to come after us in our community, and It wasn't just me, it was a lot of us. Happened to the best of us. And they really they broke up the band, I'll tell you that. But we're still on our feet. We're not together anymore. Band ain't together, but we're all solo. But we're still in the fight. We were stronger together, but we'll just have to be better on our own. So nothing that can be done about it. It's when we tried to come together, they attacked us. Because they knew we were going to hit we were going to uncover things they didn't want us to uncover. And so we were under serious attack, and it was a rough time. It was a rough time for a lot of people. There's some really shitty fucking people out there, y'all. Look at that etherphenyl. Got your 4 1s for the Roman numerals, so there's something for you Mandela affected folk. Wind catcher. But we're still here, doing our thing, still fighting, still trying to figure this thing out. We're going to keep doing it. Because I enjoy it. That's why I'm going to keep doing it. I think that's why others are going to keep doing it, because we enjoy it. Near Arlington, New Jersey. Now there's a few out there that they're out to make money. That's what their thing is. Look at those tires. And okay, that's a wild bike right there. Look at those handlebars. There's some out there that are more interested in money than they are research, and okay, well, good luck with that. That's not my focus. But I get why people do it. It's we're in a weird time, y'all. People can sit at home on their ass and do nothing, and grift, their ass off on YouTube and TikTok and whatever, and make quite a bit of money doing that. I guess I'm just old school, and I just don't really. I don't feel that's where I'm at. I don't know. I'd just rather do it the old way. Whether it's right, wrong, harder, I don't care. It's just it's the way I was brought up. It's the way I'll be. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I'm just saying that's the way I am. New York Athletic Club, New York, New York. Get that gas light. The problem is with being a grifter is that that's adorable. Sitting with Grandpa. There's a boss man right there. Ladies in uniform. Got the baby hanging out in the stroller. The problem with grifting, in my opinion, is that it's not that you're fooling people. Okay, you're not fooling people. People know you're grifting. The problem is that you've continually got to come up with ways to get people to watch you and ways to grow your channel, and so you're continually having to create things, and there's only so much creativity in a person. And you can creatively stifle yourself. And I think that's what's happening to a lot of these big names, is that they're stagnant in their thought, and they've spent so much time trying to grow the channel portholes that they've lost touch with what was good about their channel in the first place. And so it's, it's going to destroy them eventually. And that sucks, but, there's nothing you can do about it. That detailing is just next level. Venetian wave up in there. I mean, imagine being one of these YouTube creators. Now, it's one thing to be a YouTube creator and like you're doing something simple. Like let's say you review music. Okay. There's always new music coming out. There's always old albums. There's always, it's not too hard. It's like, oh, this week I'm going to review the Beatles, and next week I'll review Leonard Skinner. And there's not a whole lot of thought, that needs to go into that. But when you're talking about like this old world research, it can be pretty daunting to try to continue to make original content that is when you're trying to do something new all the time. That can be very difficult when you're doing, and I'm not talking about, okay, let's get example. Mind Unveiled, he does a lot of in-depth long videos, but he doesn't do, he does videos as he can get them done, not as, like, he doesn't try to do a video a week or a video every 3 days or 3 times a week or 2 times a week. Like, he doesn't try to keep a schedule. I think that's what screws you up when you try to meet that schedule of doing a certain amount of videos or a video on a certain day every week. This show is not, it's not hard to put together. I purposely designed this show so it's something I can do easily without a lot of thought. I throw 50, I go to my folder, I pick 50. The hard part of this show is going to the archives and finding the pictures. But that's something I do in my spare time. There's Fred. This is Terminal North Station in Boston, Massachusetts. There's Fred again. But this show, I once I had the pictures, which I have a plethora of pictures to pull from right now, and I'm continually pulling more, so that I'm continually, able to pull more and more and more. But the show to put together to get ready for the show is relatively simple. I don't have to put a lot of thought into it. I can be tired and still get it done. And so then the only thing I have to do is come in and do the show. So this show is simple. Now, the show I did on Friday, that was a lot of work. It doesn't maybe not look like it, but there was a lot of work that went behind that show. So that's really cool. Wind catcher window. So a show like that takes a lot more preparation. And even that show, I didn't put a tremendous amount of time into. And I've put a lot more time into other things. But, something like, like Mind Unveiled show where he can really go into long detail. It's very impressive. And I can understand he's hard to understand for a lot of folks because he's very esoteric in his thinking. And if you haven't studied esoterics, it can be kind of daunting to listen to. He's really smart. He a little too smart. Like sometimes, like he talks above you, not realizing that he's talking above you. Like he he's talking to you on his level. The problem is most people aren't on his level. So that's kind of funny. Look at that at their crest right there with the finials and at their antenna, mansard roof. Oh yeah, he's one of my definitely one of my favorite creators. Conspiracy RS. I love his work. I watch all his videos. Every time he comes out with a video, I watch them. I think he does quality work. I really do. I think he's top. He's top tier. I would love to talk to him. I'd love to talk to Mine and Vale, but both of these guys are not. They don't talk. They don't communicate with others. I did communicate with Mind Unveiled to do a collab, but it wasn't. We didn't talk a lot, unfortunately. Well, at the time, unfortunately, really, I don't know if it was him or me, but I know at the time I was talking to him, I was working on a project that was taking so much of my time that I had so little time to even talk to him. And he was in a hurry to do what he was doing, and I could have talked more to him. I just didn't have the time. I wish I had the time, but I didn't. But anyways, observatory at Harvard College. Hello, Canna Bear. Yeah, yeah. If you don't know about Conspiracy RS, definitely go check him out. He's straight up old world Mudflood. You'll love him. Oh, if you hadn't heard of him, that yeah, quality stuff. He gets. I learned a lot of my research technique from him. Just studying how he does his research. He has a uncanny way of finding research that gets in there, really gets in there and pulls up the skirt of the old world and takes a peek under there, sees things that are just amazing. It's really good stuff. All right, enough patting Conspiracy us on the butt. He's probably like, dude, shut up. Old Fish House, Kennenbunkport. Kennenbunkport. What? Who is naming these places? I just thought this picture was pretty. That's why I threw this one in here. I like how they did that little barricade wall there. I like that boat. That's a neat boat. Very simple A-frame. That's got some characteristics of something very similar to what I'm building right now. That's got some we're building some structures that are meant to look old like this, and they're very similar to that in a lot of ways. I wish I could make mine look as rustic as that, but I can't because these boards are they're a lot better boards. The ones we have are nicer looking, but these are actually tougher boards. They're wider boards. Anyways, just rambling. Old Fort Niagara. And I watched an interesting video yesterday. A channel Hippie, if you could find this channel, I think it's called the Archivist or Archivist, and they just did a video on cannons that was interesting. And I thought it was interesting. There was I had an issue with it was that I saw kind of where he was going, but he needs to add diagrams or examples of what he's trying to say, because it was very difficult to follow what he was trying to explain. He needs some diagrams. He needs some animations or something. But it was interesting. It was an interesting thoughts. I don't know. Little arch there. Mm-hmm. Somebody's waking up. I wonder who that is. I think we're gonna have to yeah. Yep. We're gonna have to take us a break here, y'all. Let's see here. Yep, we're gonna have to take us a break here because somebody's got to go visit the Tinkle Tower. Hope y'all are having a good time. We'll be right back, and we will see you in a minute. Okay, we are back live with the Beagle, and he has had him a possible Christmas cookie. I will never tell. If you won't tell, I won't tell. He's woken up from his nap. He is ready to party. He's got his new birthday collar on. You see it's MUDDIN color, Carhartt MUDDIN collar. Show him your Carhartt collar. Can you see Carhartt? Carhartt? Yeah, we'll be in on Carhartt collar. It's old MUDDIN color. Yes, I don't know. Oh, kisses. Yuck. Yuck. Ugh. Ugh. Yucky kisses. Ugh. Who wants to? I don't got nothing. What is that? Hope y'all had a nice little break. Do I got to get it out for you? Okay. Hit the road. All right. Oh, got rid of him. Okay. So we'll get back to the pictures here and everything. You know, if the Ninny Squad wants to come and talk smack, here's what I suggest they do. Go at an individual creator about their best research, what is considered, you know, their top research. Like for me, example, come at me about viaducts. Come on. Come on. I dare you. A double dog dare you. All right. We're going to get back into it. All right. Here we go. All right. We're going to look at Old Mission Church in Mackinac Island. Probably butchered that. That's okay. Ain't nobody going to hold it against me. That's all right. I was not the spelling bee champion, nor the wordsmith. I don't got no more cookies, baby. I'm sorry. Well, one little tiny little Christmas cookie's all you get. Shouldn't give you any of that, but you just look so wanting one so bad. Simple A-frame structure. Got this monstrosity sucker on top. All right, now get out my way, you big head. Trying over here, trying to do some look and see what's going on. Look at this wind catcher here. I know you're start a show. Got little crescent moons on the shutters there. Doors, windows down there. Torch fields up here. I saw someone was saying that they didn't think the archivist had enough substance or something like that. I understand what you're saying totally. I think, okay, granted that the well, that's weird. That's some sort of special gate, so that's wild. It's a weird thing. I think what it is, I mean, it's a new channel. I'm not saying they're, you know, all that bag of tricks or anything, but it was just an interesting channel that I ran across. And I thought that the thoughts on the cannons were interesting, because I want to know more about this cannon business. And I haven't really found what I consider, you know, the creme de la creme of research there. This is on Giria, Niagara navigation, whatever that word is. All right, got little ether antennas up there for whatever reason. Little ether finial right there. But I think, it's interesting. It'll be interesting to watch. See, I look for these channels because they pop up and they'll have tremendous growth at first, and then YouTube a lot of times will clamp them off, and they'll go stagnant, because YouTube, once they realize what they're up to. There's Boss Man right there. And that guy's got like 8,000 subscribers, and he's only been doing this since, like, I think it was October 9th. So the point is that there's people that are interested in this research. It's not that he's doing that great of research, but there's people that are interested in the research, and then you've got people like me that are just, YouTube just absolutely does not show me in the algorithms. They do not. That's a big no-no. And it is what it is. I can't control it. They just don't like what I do, I guess. I'm okay with that. I'm just going to do what I do. And if you found me, then you're part of the few. And I appreciate you being here, and very thankful for what I do have. And I probably will never grow much because of that. I'm no longer doing collaborations, as you know. That just turns into a nightmare. People start off real good, and then sometimes they turn into a nightmare. And I just don't really care to do that anymore. Look at that chimney there. Wow. This stuff is just wild right here. Just, that is some high-tech freaking stuff, but wow. But I'm just going to continue to stay to my core and do what I do, and stay over here in my corner, and just keep poking the bear, and see where it leads. This is Pabst Brewery, Milwaukee. Something scratched out there for some reason. But I've been around a long time. I've been around a lot longer than some of these young bucks. And so it should show you that right there, that just on general principle of people wanting to be subscribed to Old World Mudflood Tartarian researchers, they would subscribe to me just out of wanting to be in the loop of that community. You see what I'm saying? So just out of general principle of people looking for that, my subscriber count should be way, way higher. But as you can tell, quite a few, like, look at people like, let's see, trying to think of an example. I don't know, maybe I'll have an example. You can come in right now and start making videos on this stuff, and you will jump up in subscribers very quickly. And you will do okay until they decide to clamp you. It's like my Viaducts video got like 7,000 views in the first few days of it being on. And then you can watch it. It goes straight up in the air, and then they clamped it, and it goes poof, flatlined. And it's been flatlined ever since. And it goes up a little bit at a time. It's quite comical when you look at it, because it's just like, really, portholes at the crest right there, at the finial. at their antenna. That's a pretty building. You got Ether Tech going across the top there of that sun. Little fella just hanging out, about to get run over by Fred's. It's weird how they got those cases at an angle. Mudflood windows right there and there. Dog toothing. At their antenna. At their finial and at their fencing crest. It's a heck of a building. Man, it's massive. Just to sell beer. We need all that to sell beer. I tell you what, though, Pabst Blue Ribbon sure does make good beer bread. I used to make beer bread with that, and it was really good. It had a real good sweetness to it. Or maybe it was Milwaukee's Best. No, it was Pabst. I think it was Pabst. Anyways, one of those two. No, it might have been Milwaukee's Best. Anyways, it was one of those two. It was a real cheap beer because it was a sweet beer, and it made really good beer bread. And you could put butter on there, and you basically were going to have a good time. That was a good time, had ball. Panorama of Gloucester, Massachusetts. All right. Yep. It's that place. With saily boats. Some tall ships. Little fishing town, it looks like. All built up. Got some techie business out here. Big ass clock. Or do the shapes have any clue as to what they're bringing it? Look at that ship, man. That's a big one. Let's see. One the antenna shapes give clue to the type of signals or power they are intercepting. I don't know. Maybe. I'm hoping somebody with like a real good, strong electrical background will get involved in our community at some point and bring some science to it. That would be interesting. Kind of give us some real, in-depth research that could figure some of this stuff out, because it's just above my pay grade. I mean, I know that the ether exists. Reminds me of KRS-One. Is that his name? And he talked about how he was thinking about consciousness and what is air, and like you're breathing in air, and like, but it's not pure oxygen. What else is there? And like you start thinking about it, it's like, yeah, it's consciousness. You're breathing in consciousness. Breathe in consciousness. Breathe out consciousness. I was like, that's it right there. Parliament buildings, Quebec. And that's what it really is that, consciousness is it's everything really, but it's especially what's in between. It's the, it's kind of the fabric of reality. What is consciousness? It's the fabric of reality. It's an energy, a field that runs the simulation that we call reality. Mudflood Winter's down there. We touched on simulation stuff. It was last week. Y'all seem to be really interested in that, and that's good. I'm glad. I mean, I don't have, I think that I could point y'all in a lot of different directions to go get better research on that. But I think having a good understanding of quantum physics is helpful. Because you're not going to prove this stuff from classic physics. Classic physics works great for, this Gatorade bottle. That's classic physics. It works. Okay, it works. It works fine. I can feel that. Okay, it works. It holds the liquid. I can hit myself in the head. I can tickle the dog's nose. Classic physics. But when you get down to the atomic level of that liquid, the what's in that bottle besides liquid, and the makeup of the molecules of that container and everything around it, it all breaks down. All the rules go to shit. None of the rules apply. You find it's all connected. You can fuck with something over here and it changes something on the other side of the universe. Our reality only works, on our 3D, at our 3D level of reality, on our plane of reality, in our third dimension. That's the only place it works. When you get down, you go subatomic, all the rules go out the window. And it's controllable by our thoughts. We control our reality. And by controlling our reality, we also collectively control our reality. There's an individual control, and then there's a collective control. Florida Lee. But consciousness is the fabric of everything. It's like, what is this right here? Is this oxygen? This stuff I'm waving my hands through, is that oxygen? No. Is there oxygen in it? Yeah, that's part of it, but it's a very small part of it. If this was pure oxygen, what would happen if I lit? I don't have one here. If I lit a lighter, okay? If I lit a lighter, what would happen? In pure oxygen, I go kapoo. I go boom boom. Okay, so it's not oxygen. Okay, even though we think of this as oxygen, we think of this as air. It's not air. It's consciousness. Well, we originally we originate in a higher dimension. Canterbury. We come down to a lower dimension in order to incarnate, because at a higher dimension you can't feel the physical You can't feel like you can't feel in let's say you come from the ninth dimension. You can't feel in the ninth dimension what it's like to get punched in the face. You can't feel what it's like to go water skiing. You can't feel what it's like to eat cheesecake. You can't feel what it's like to get your freak on. You can't feel like what it's like to pet a beagle. You can't feel what it's like to do things that feel like the touch. You can't feel that. You can't you can you have an like your energy. You're a energy. You're a consciousness. You're a light body. And we come here to experience lessons that can't be learned in the higher dimensions. It's a much denser reality that allows us to play in different ways. Look at that ether fencing. Reminds me of the winged disc right there. I don't know why, it just does. Ether antenna. I think what we're ultimately going to find is that none of this is in reality physical. I think that's going to be the ultimate takeaway. I think when we get down to the nitty gritty of what actually is Earth, I think we're going to find out it's a very elaborate holodeck of consciousness projected in a holographic form as a way for us to experience low density lessons to bring ourselves closer to the Creator by learning how to create from a lower level and working our way up to a higher level. It's basically we're all little particles of God that have been little parts of God that of the Creator, and the Creator said, "Here, go out and play." And through your light body, just took a piece of itself and threw you out into the universe and said, "Go play, find your way back." And your whole purpose as a light body is to find your way back to the Creator. And you know what's going to happen when you get there? When you finally find the Creator and come face to face, more than likely the Creator's going to throw you back and you're going to do it again just for fun, because it's just a game. I mean, it feels very real, but that's the whole point of the game. It wouldn't be a fun game if it wasn't, if it wasn't good. You know, would you play a game if it wasn't good? Would you go to a play if it sucked? Would you want to see a movie again if it was just terrible? Would you read a book again if it wasn't a good read? This is Patterson, New Jersey, from Waterworks Park. These roofs are interesting to me. They could have windows on the side and the light would come in. Little portholes up here. I guess what I'm saying, guys, and gals, is ladies and gentlemen, and a couple assholes out there. What I'm trying to say is we're all the Creator creating creation, and don't underestimate yourself. Don't sell yourself short. Whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right either way. You're so much more powerful than you've ever dreamed. Be careful in manifesting your reality, because when you realize at some point, okay, in learning to manifest your reality, you will realize, oh shit, I really do manifest my reality. And at that point, you'll realize that how powerful you really are, and you will be very careful about how you manifest, because you can manifest the wrong shit too very quickly. Pea Pickers, Mount Morris, New York. Well, if we get rid of all the illegals, who's going to pick the crops? Imagine we'll work that out. I don't see black here. I don't see white here. I don't see Mexican here. I don't see Chinese here. I see people. I see people coming together to pick the crops. People of all races, all creeds. Some uglier than others. Sorry about that. That was mean. True, but mean. Look, they've done a little cropping of that picture there. But people of all ethnicities. Oh wow, that's an official Vanilla Sky right there. Look at that. That's 100% Vanilla Sky. And see, the Ninny Squad, they tried to come at me one time and act like that Vanilla Sky was a chemical process. And yes, there is a chemical process that changes the background of skies, but that's not what we're calling Vanilla Skies. But they were, instead of coming clean and going, oh, well, we're talking about something completely different. No. They were insisting we were idiots. Does that look like a motherfucking chemical process to y'all? Huh? Anybody? Can anybody here say that looks like a chemical process to you? Does that look like a chemical process? And that's why you don't see Ninny Squad around anymore, because they had their ass handed to them. They realized that, fuck with a bull, you get the horns. And they turn tail and run. Where are they today? Who the fuck knows? I mean, if you're not gonna add to the conversation, go away. You're just a thorn in the side of the community. Peabody Museum of Archaeology and Ethnology, Cambridge. Gaslight there. Mudflood winter down there. They knew they knew what they were doing. They knew that people were not looking into what we were saying and what they were saying. They knew people were looking into what they were saying only, and people that were looking at us were looking at us, and they weren't putting two and two together. People weren't, looking at both. Because some of y'all get hung up on people, and you don't want to, because it's like when I say stuff like, and this pisses people off, don't give a damn. When I say stuff like John Levy is not telling the truth when he says that a brick can turn into a balloon rock, when I'm saying that is not true, okay, people will just say, oh, well, John Levy's the king of all kings and our Lord and Savior, and they won't look into what I'm saying. Why not? What if what I'm saying is true? Then you find out, oh shit, he's lying. Or what if you look into what I'm saying, you find out that what he's saying is true, then you would find out I'm lying. So why not go find out who's lying? Why just defend somebody and not go deeper? I mean, if one guy's saying that a brick can turn into a big ass block, and another guy's saying no, that's not true, one of you motherfuckers is lying. Which one is it? It's one of the two. Which one? I mean, seriously. Peanut by Pennsylvania Railroad, Coal Trestle, Erie, PA. I'm looking for the facts. I want to know the best truth. I don't believe there's an ultimate truth, but I'm looking for the best truth I could possibly find. What is the best truth I could possibly find? And if anybody can prove to me that a brick can turn into a balloon rock, I'll give them $20,000. I've said it over and over and over again. And they'll just come back and retort, we've already proved it. Okay, well, show me the proof. But we've already proved it. Uh-huh. Where? Well, it's right here in the pictures. Can't you see? I don't want to see a motherfucking picture. I want you to put a brick in my hand, right here, in my hand, and I want you to turn that motherfucker into a fucking balloon rock. That's what I want. Okay? You do that. Okay? You do that hocus pocus magic y'all motherfuckers talk about, and I'll give you $20,000. And then I'm going on every damn show across the world, and I'm going to present the findings of of how to turn a brick into a balloon rock, and I'm going to become a multi-gajillionaire. This is Perry's Hotel, York Street, Sydney, between 1880 and 1900. I'm become a gajillionaire. I don't know what the hell that thing is. Showing people how to turn a brick into a balloon rock. So it's really an investment for me. I'm gonna make my millions off y'all's dumb ass. I mean, here's what I'm saying. If what you're saying is true, why don't y'all go do that? Because if you could I would imagine if you can make take a brick and turn it into a material that is 10 times larger than the brick, and then that would be stronger, because I would say stone is stronger than brick. That material would be the abilities that you could use that for. Like, I mean, it's like, imagine you make a brick and then you can get a stone. I mean, you'd make so much money on your building supplies. I mean, we're talking big money. I mean, anybody wants to invest in this, let's go. Let's do it. But they can't do that. They can't produce anything that shows that that's true. Why? Well, we have the proof. Where's the proof? We have pictures. Well, okay. We have video. Okay. You're showing me you're showing me a stone and saying it's a brick, and you're showing me a brick and saying that it's melted. Like, but show me the proof that that's what's happening. Show me the proof where you show a brick and say it's melted, that brick was not melted in the firing process. I mean, where's your proof? Show me the proof. As the fellas, say, show me the money. Well, show me the proof. I mean, come on. Let's do it. I bet y'all get tired of me talking about this damn meltology. See that? I get tired of talking about it, but there's Fred's booty. I think those two are up to Hanky Panky. This is pure at Murphy Bay, St. Lawrence River. I mean, even better, if you could prove that all mountains in this world are melted red brick buildings, all mountains, not some mountains, all mountains. Oh, matter of fact, this is kind of funny. They've kind of started lately to kind of backtrack. Well, maybe it's not all mountains. Well, it's just a lot of mountains. No, motherfuckers. No. I got y'all recorded. I got the receipts. Y'all have stated over and over and over and over and over and over and over on every freaking platform, on every channel that you can get on, that all mountains are melted red brick buildings. And I'm saying $20,000 if you can prove it. That's what I'm saying. And if anybody wants to jump in there, we'll up this ante. If we could get it up to $1 million, we'll put $1 million on the table. Who wants to go in on this? Anyone? Come on, it's a surefire. It's a surefire. Come on, let's go. This is Pittsburgh, PA from Mount Washington. That's got a very viaducty look right there. Interesting. And they'll say stupid shit like, we know volcanoes don't exist. Now, do volcanoes work the way we're told they work? Probably not. But to say that a volcano doesn't exist, that's fucking stupid. It's the wording you people use. You're so sensational in what you say. You don't think about the implications of the words that you use and how you say it. It matters. When you make bold ass statements, extraordinary claims, they're gonna, take extraordinary proofs. It's only a matter of time before somebody like me comes along and understands what I'm saying, or figures it out for themselves and comes at you 20 times harder than I am. I don't have the time to come at you, Meltologist. If I did, you'd be on like Donkey Kong. I've got so many folders of videos ready and waiting to just drop on them. If I had to go to war with them, I could just machine gun them. Video, short. Live stream. I'd tear their ass. It'd be all like Donkey Kong. Mudflood Winter's down there, Fred. But I don't have time. I do not have the time to really mess with them. Matter of fact, I mess with them now just for shits and giggles. That's about all I have time to do. Sometimes they just say something so stupid that I just can't resist. I'm like, okay, I got to put things aside and just go mess with them a little bit. Talking about cinder blocks are melted bricks. Come on. Asphalt is melted bricks. Sand is melted bricks. Look at these big ass arches right here. It doesn't matter what it is. They say it's a melted brick. Literally, it does not matter. Icebergs, melted bricks. I'm waiting for them to say pine straw with melted bricks. Oh shit! I better not give them ideas. It's that bad, y'all. They literally are. They're that desperate to say shit that they're literally saying stupid shit like it. Pine cones. Those are melted bricks. Pine cones. I'm not saying they say that, but I'm saying they're getting to the point. They're so desperate. They're starting to just. it's like they're looking for market share, and they're like seeing who can one up each other on stupid. It's like it's like how Christianity, they're always coming out with new Christianities because they're always trying to one up each other and try to my Christianity is better than your Christianity. Oh, we have this in our Christianity, we don't have that in our Christianity. It's the same thing. It's one up marketing. Pollock salutes Saint Marie. Okay. Why do they have to? Why don't just what or State Marie? What is that? Street STE. What is that? Saint Marie? I don't know what that is. Anyways, doesn't matter. He got him a cane pole there. Look at them big doors. Look at those big doors. Massive. And I thought that door was big. I looked over here and saw that one's on third bigger. Good gracious. The other finial. The wind catcher. Mudfloodish winders there. No, I'm hoping that one day somebody's going to find something so freaking amazing and damning that's going to pop open this research and just blow this whole thing out of the water. And then we're going to be freaking sitting here pretty. Princeton University. That would be really cool just for somebody. I don't care who it is. You know, just somebody to come out with something so, dialed in, so based. Look at that thing. Good grief. Oops. So, somebody to come out with, some research that's just undeniable. That would be so cool. I don't care who it is. Anybody, it's anybody that comes out and just nails it. That would be really cool. If somebody does, let me know. And I mean, be real about it, y'all. Don't send me. Oh, this guy's got it. Blah, blah, blah. Come on now. I mean, show me something real, something that I can sink my teeth into. This, I want the real exposure. I want to see the real thing get blown out of the water. Royal Exchange between 1884 and 1917. There's Fred right there hanging out doing what he does. Meeting in the mines, boss man, getting it laid down. Got a photographer out here in the middle of the street documenting what they've discovered here. Still got the statues in the niche here. They've removed them here and here, and they got them here, over here. Removed a bunch of them here. Look at that crane right there. Big dome. But yeah, I think eventually we're going to find real, evidence of meltology. That's another thing is I think you're going to find that there were melted buildings on a way back reset. I do believe that's going to happen. I believe that's going to happen. And don't do it. Don't come in. We've already found it. No, you haven't. You have found things that look possible in certain places, yes, but you have not proved it. You ain't proved shit yet. So don't even come at me with that shit. I know it and you know it. Well, y'all don't know it. if you're a meltologist, you're retarded. So y'all are literally useless. We need a whole new breed of we don't need to call them meltologists. I don't know what the hell we call them. We need a new name for meltology, y'all. We need a real, because Jen came up with that name Meltology, and she has, frauded the shit out of that thing. So what can we name Meltology as a research field? What's the new Meltology name? Look at this, these glass insulators up here, torus fields. No, I mean like a serious research name. Like if you had to name the research of meltology, but not meltology, what would be a good name for that research? Like we have Mudflood for Mudflood research. We have Old World for Old World research. What could be the new name of meltology? 6th Avenue up 14th Street, New York. What term can we coin that will be a new term that will, where we can start afresh? Have a meltology that doesn't have balloon rocks and popcorn bricks and iceberg buildings and bullshit, that's cinder block bricks and I mean all this crap, this bullshit. Some real live, okay, a real, real look at what could have happened. Not the speculative all mountains are melted brick buildings bullshit. All that needs to go away. That's all done. That's it's it's like if Levy continues on with his making these statements, it's going to destroy him. There's pavement light right there. So if he'll recant that, he might be able to save himself, but otherwise it's just going to destroy him in the end, because at some point people are going to realize what he's saying. When people realize that John Levy is saying that a brick can balloon rock into a stone and the implications of that, they're going to walk away from John Levy. They're going to realize that that's bullshit, and he's going to look like a fucking idiot. And I don't want to see that. Tartarian lines, flat earth asterisks, in case you need that. Porthole. I don't want to see that John have a downfall due to meltology. I think that would be a real shame. That's why I go so hard at his ass, because I want to see him pull his head out of his ass. I have more respect for him than that. But I can lead the horse to water, but I can't make the little, horse drink it. I can't do it. I can't make somebody, think. Kind of looks like a griffin right there. I don't know why, but I don't think it is, but it kind of looks like one. Look at this picture right here. Pretty wild. I don't know it's a weird business going on up here. Look at that ether antenna right there. Wind catcher. Soldiers and Sailors Monument, Lafayette Square, Buffalo, New York. Got some of these cannons. Very interesting. That's another thing. Everybody takes things personal. I'm not attacking John as a person. I'm attacking John's research. Okay? There's a big fucking difference between attacking a person and attacking the research. Okay? The research is that he's saying that a brick can turn into a balloon rock. That he excuse me. Let me say exactly how he says it. This brick has fused into a stone, and the stone is 10 times bigger than the brick. Or he could even be saying that a group of bricks fused into a perfectly shaped rectangular stone that's 10 times bigger than, say, a brick. Either way, he's saying that a brick turns into a stone. And he says fused. That's his term. He's saying the same thing because he's got to coin his own version of it. So he's come up with a new way to say the same thing. Instead of saying balloon rocks, he says fused. It's the same thing. Ah. I mean, they got good weed out in Utah, is all I'm saying. Wherever the hell he is. Out there in the desert, they got that good peyote shit. They got that hardcore hitting shit. That puff, 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 puff shit. Or something. I don't know what they're hitting out there. But I've talked to John and he's a real nice guy. But I know a lot of real nice people that are fucking dumbasses, y'all. You know? It's like my boss. He's really intelligent when it comes to doing his job. He's really good at his job. But when you come to ask him like a question about architecture, like that we talk about, he couldn't tell you nothing about it. He spends all day tearing these buildings down, but he doesn't know anything about them. You know? Know what I mean? State Savings Bank, Detroit. Detroit Rock City. Barber's poles. They've always been weird to me. There's something strange about barber's poles. I have a folder of ideas from years back, and one of the ideas is barber poles. Because there's something strange about them. I don't know if we'll ever get to it because it's not a top priority, but it's interesting. There's an unscrubbed cartouche. Got an eagle representing the phoenix. Hard to see what else on there. Maybe a sun. Hard to see. Flat Earth asterisks. That's interesting. Very nice. Tourist field. Cobblestone brick road. And these meltologists will sit there and tell you that this cobblestone brick road right here is a melted brick road, but then they'll say, but this building didn't get melted. So the brick melted, but the building didn't melt. Syracuse, New York, between 1890 and 1901. Got an army of Freds here ready to pull some bricks. And again, I've only found one picture of horse pulling a cart of bricks, and it actually had two horses, two carts, and one of the horses was on the ground dead. That's the only picture of a horse pulling bricks that I've ever found. One. That's a network trunking system for running the telegram wires right there. It's a trunking tower, or trunking pole. So, I was watching this video today and it was real interesting, and we need to look. I'm hoping we can watch it because it had some really interesting figures in there about brick making in New York, and I'm hoping we can watch it for movie night because it was some of the figures they were given were very telling, and I think we can do a little bit deeper dive into what they're saying, but I'll let you know. It's like the ninnies will say, well, they had brick making machines. I don't care if you had brick making machines. I don't care if you had a fairy that made a damn a brick. If you don't fire the brick, you don't have a brick. You could have a unicorn that shits bricks at its ass, 33 a second, and you've got a whole army of a billion of these things shitting out these bricks, okay? But they're not fired because if you don't fire a brick, you don't have a brick. If you don't fire the brick, then you don't have a brick. And then the question is, well, where are they firing all these bricks at? Where are all these this is pre-kiln, like the modern day kiln. The modern day kilns are later. Where are the kilns from before, say, 1900? Where are the massive kilns, that made the bricks, that fired the bricks? Tampa Bay Hotel, Florida, 1900. There's pavement light in the deck of this building. This is a very Moorish building. Very, very, very elaborate. Way, 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 way too elaborate building for Tampa, Florida. If you've ever been to Tampa, Florida, you know it's a freaking shithole. So why in the world would you ever build this in Tampa, Florida? Hell, all of Florida's a shithole, but Tampa's especially shithole. I can't stand that place. Horrible place to work. Ugh. Hated it. Portholes. But I mean, this is like, come on. This building has zero reason to be in Tampa, Florida. At the Fennials, crescent moons. I mean, come on. There's no logic to that at all. There's none. Arcade building in Cleveland. There's Fred down there. Oh, nope. Fred's over here now. Oh, no, he's over here. Some bitch moves quick. There's a pavement light right there and there. Mudflood drop in right there. More pavement light right there. Hard to see though. More pavement light. Well, she's kind of short and stubby there. Okay. Boater hat. Lots of pavement light back there. Arcade suit. It's a weird Weird thing right there. At their fencing crest right there. Good looking awnings. Little ghost in the window. If you missed the show on Friday, you missed the haunted mud flutter with the ghost in the window. Ooh, scary. Taurus Fields. I had a good time. We went and checked out Mud House Mansion. Prism glass. Big ass arch. Bum 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 bum. I can't see. I thought it might be a line, but I couldn't tell. Wish I could see that detail better. Just incredible. One day I need to do a better video on Cleveland, because I looked into Cleveland really hard doing a Christmas video. First year I was doing this, and I did it, and I found so many buildings that eventually I just gave up and said fuck it and made the video. It was so many, and I'd only gone like 3 directions out of the 4 that you could go looking, or 4. 1, 2, 3. I kind of went. No, I kind of only went 2 of the 3 directions. Looking through the city, and it was just so many. It just became like, this is never. I'm never going to end. This is never going to end. So I just went ahead and made the video, and I've been collecting on it ever since. Prism glass right here. In the transom. That's a transom above the window. There's more prism glass right there. Solarized. So it's been in there a while. I never did finish it. I believe that Cleveland is another viaduct city, but it's much more complicated to prove. Arcade building, Cleveland. Got lucky with Atlanta, because Atlanta actually has the history of building the viaducts. Look at that lamp. Jeez. That's some Salvador Dali shit right there. Looks like pavement glass right there. This is an old world mall. An arcade is what we call a mall today. An interior mall, like well, I don't know what you call your mall, but like at Mall of America. I know you all know what Mall of America is. Okay, a mall where the stores are interior. There's pavement glass right there. Pavement lights. The arcades were the old world malls, and they were very, very nice. But they were very, very similar to the malls today. Multi-level. They weren't as large as our malls. But they were really cool. And you can still visit some of them today. I believe the one in Cleveland, or well, I think there was 2 in Cleveland, if I remember correctly. But there's one of them left. It's not nearly the same as it used to be, but they've modernized it. There's a lot. I don't know what are those. Oh, they're different. That looks like a dragon, but that almost looks like a lion. I don't know. That's trippy. Hard to say. Arc lights. Look at the ironwork there. I don't know. Those are wild looking. Almost looks like a winged lion and a dragon. I think that's what it is. I don't know. What do y'all think? What is that? What is that? Looks like a winged lion to me. That to me looks like a dragon. I could be wrong. I don't know. That's my opinion. Y'all might have a better idea. Some of y'all pretty smart. that's a Cracker Barrel joke. They got this little game there where you it's like a triangle and you put these little pegs in the holes, and depending on how many are left, one of the things is it says you're pretty smart, which I think is hilarious. Oh, that's the end of our pictures. All righty. That is the end of the pictures for tonight. You guys have any questions? We're gonna do one more thing before we head off for the night. Go look at one more thing here. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. My eyes are going batty. Edinburgh Jenners was like that. Okay. Interesting building to work in. So it's like an arcade. Okay. Glass these days is expensive as fuck. But here they have a giant freaking green. And back then, glass was a esoteric art. Like you had to be in the club to know how. They did not teach. They were very secretive about how they made glass back then. From my understanding, that it was not easy to make, and it was very complicated, and they hid the secrets of how you built it, how you made it, very, very carefully. They were very careful about not giving that information out, and they made big panes of glass back then, very big. I have a neat catalog somewhere in my collection of showing some of these major window front glass installations, and just showing how they did that. And it was just like, man, talk about sketchy. It's bad. Let's see here. Seeing some pics feel like they're 200 years old. All these buildings have changed so much. If you look up how long can a brick last, they don't know. They say that the most they can tell you is 500 years. So how old are these buildings? We don't know. We don't know. So the one last thing we're going to do tonight. My way back family originated in a little place called Johnson City, Tennessee. And when I was little, we went there to view the old homestead, and I have a memory of this. Not a lot of memory, but I do remember it enough that in my mind's eye, I can picture it. And I remember it being, mountainous and lots of hills and lots of grassland, and there was some old houses sporadic, and I remember hearing the stories about how they had to churn their own butter, and how they had to wash the clothes on the washboard, and how the men were given the white meat chicken, and the girls were given the dark meat chicken, because they felt like the white meat chicken was the better meat, and the men needed the boys needed the men and the boys needed the meat for the better meat to work in the fields. And everyone, there was a story about how every I forget why this person came. There was like a person that would come every so often to do something. I don't know if it was shear sheep or something. There was something like they would come in, they would have to help them. But my point is that the picture that was painted for me was that they were country folks, they were rural folks, they lived, in a very farm country area with not much going on, and that life was hard and life was simple. And like I was told, the old story of we had to walk uphill both ways to go to school in the snow. And you come to find out that story was actually true, because they had to walk up over a mountain and then down a mountain, and then they'd have to get on a horse and carriage, and be taken into the school, down to to the school, which was several more miles away. And then they had to ride that back, and then walk up the mountain and back down the mountain. And if it was snowing, it was walking uphill both ways in the snow. My point is that even because I've been to this place and saw it as a child, and I have a memory of this place. My memory of Johnson City, Tennessee, is this rural country place. The other night, I was messing around, and I was in the area looking on Google Earth at another place, and I just kind of out of the corner of my eye saw Johnson City, Tennessee. And I thought, wow, I haven't looked at that place since I was a little boy. I should go look at that and see what what it was like. I mean, just I don't know. I just wanted to kind of reminisce a little bit and go back and look. Here's the point. My memory of Johnson City, Tennessee, is that there's nothing there. Okay. And I am stressing to you guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, that y'all need to go back in your history, your family histories, and look back at the places that you were told they were from, the places that you think don't have anything to look at, and you need to go look. Because when I looked at Johnson City, Tennessee, which I thought had nothing, it turned into this. And I thought, Johnson City has really grown since I was a little boy. So I went a little closer. And I started looking around and I started getting down in there, and there is just, I don't know where I am, but there is quite a lot here, and I never knew that. And they're doing a lot of modernization, as they are anywhere else. I'm trying to find the older area. I don't know where to go, but at some point you start finding these older structures, and like here's some. My understanding is that there was nothing here. Okay, that's the picture I was painted, and that's my memory of it. But I'm sorry, but that's been there a long time. And so has that. I looked this one up. This one was built in, I believe, 1912. And the 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 family member that was telling me these stories was born in 1918. So this was originally not the post office. I think it was a different building, like a government building or something. But this building was there when, you know, 10 years before they were born. And I was told it was a little ho-dunk town with, not even a stoplight. And so my point is that um we need to kind of go back and check ourselves, because even I'm not even like catching like what I should be catching when it comes to what was here, because I didn't think to check this, because this place, because I thought in my mind I'd already checked it. And clearly there's a lot of stuff that is gone. I mean, you can tell there was probably a great fire here or something. I mean, what is this big ass parking lot? What was, I mean, maybe go back in time, maybe, I don't know. But, that didn't do nothing. But, I mean, there's a hell of a lot more here than I had ever even remotely realized. I mean, how old's that son bitch right there? Look at that. Rose windows. And I guess this is just a lesson for all of us, is that you know we think we know, and that, I should have known better, because when I first started doing this research and I started thinking, well, what can I look into that really nobody's looked into, to bring something to the table to prove this theory wrong. I thought, well, I'll just look into my hometown, go look at Raleigh, North Carolina. I went looking at Raleigh, North Carolina, and I came out realizing that I never knew anything about my home place. I didn't know a damn thing. I didn't know what the hell was there, because it all been moved or burned down or was demolished, or it's completely not what I remembered, what I was told. Mudflood Winter's there. It's completely not. Mudflood drop in right there. Not what I was told. I mean, I completely found out that Raleigh is very muddy. very muddy. And I'm still doing research on Raleigh. And when I feel like it, when I get, to the point where I feel like I can do a good job on it and present it in the way that I want it to be presented, then I'll release that information, that data. But but I'm saying that my goodness, there is. This is a little place I thought had absolutely shit for Mudflood. Okay, I didn't look at this place because I in my mind thought there was nothing here. I literally thought there was nothing here, that it was nothing but country. I honestly thought it was like weird that they called it Johnson City. Because I'm like, where's the city? There's no city. Pay Prism Glass. That probably had, pavement lights at one time. What's going on there? I mean, this is a city. That's why they call it Johnson City. Obviously I'm a fucking dumbass. How did I miss this? I mean, look at this thing. What is, I haven't even looked around here, y'all. I'm finding this with y'all. Porthole. So, I mean, oh, wow. Holy shit. What's that? I mean, come on. Look at that. I mean, that's on par with anything. Mudflood drop-in, Mudflood windows. I'll put that up against anything. Look at that. How cool is that? Look at that. Stained glass. I mean, come on. So, I guess the point is, go back. Think about your history of where your family came from. Some small hodunk town. We came from hodunk towns south of, Dumbfuckville. Go look that place up. Okay, whatever it is, check out these old houses here. Maybe there's something here. Go and check it out. See what you can find. Because, it might be more interesting than you have ever anticipated. And you might find something that just blows this thing out of the freaking water. And you might be the one that solves this mystery. You could be. It could be any of us. Anybody. I mean, really. I mean, what's going on right there? Wait a minute. What is that? Why does that not let me down there? That's odd. Okay, let's go here. There's some kind of special. Where'd that thing go? That's odd. Huh. I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. It's like a college. Man, I wish I could get right there. Why will it not let me there? Man, that sucks. It will not let me. I can't get anywhere near it. Go there, see if I can look through the trees or something. Gosh, I don't know. It won't let me get to it. Whatever that is, I don't know. I don't know if it's old or new. I can't tell. I mean, it kind of looks old, but it's Gosh, it's got telltale signs of old. I don't know. I'll have to do some digging on that. That's some kind of college, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna do some more digging there. I think that'll be. I think that'll be coming. To I need to go deeper there. But I think you get the point that just keep looking, y'all. Don't give up. And when then any say, you're crazy and you don't know who you're talking about and why are you looking at that? And when they say there's zero evidence and there's nothing to see here, that's when you look deeper. We'll see you soon. Love, Biggs.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
No.
In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
No.
It's a mystery wrapped in a riddle inside an enigma. Don't you get it?
Say woof again! Say woof again!
I've got one that can see.
Welcome to the underground.
This is my kung fu, and it is strong.
See you later.